different techniques. It's mainly just two of them, but I want you guys to have a full understanding of how to use the watercolors the proper way. Um, that way we kind of can avoid like mistakes later on. So a couple of things that we'll do though is I'm actually gonna have like this gray board for you, or like this heavier, sturdier board, and we're actually gonna tape this around like the edges of my paper. But if you look at it though, I have the tape. Taped around all these edges here. It's also taped on the bottom edge too. This is to avoid the paper wrinkling or buckling up. You guys will notice that as we worked on your practice one that we did for fun. This is actually something that I've noticed, from like what I've done before. And I'm just gonna be frankly honest though. I'm not like the best person with watercolors, but as you guys are learning, I'm still learning watercolors as well. So, one thing we'll have to do is we'll have to tape it up. We're going to tape it up like this, where it's like all four corners, and then you have like one tape about like 2/3 or like 1/3 on the top here, and then we're going to tape this part in half here. So then we have like different areas that we can work on. So, the main areas that we're going to work on for the watercolors, and I'm actually going to label what they are. Up here it's going to be we're going to do using watercolor pencils. Okay, so this is going to be for using just the watercolor pencils. You guys are wondering what those boxes are for. This one's just going to be the watercolor cakes. So this is like the traditional watercolors that we'll use. And then this one on the bottom will be just so you guys can see, I'll just say the free draw. So we'll do like kind of like another free draw again, but this time we're going to try to utilize the techniques of what you learned today. All right. Okay. So this will be like the free draw right here. Okay. Now, some techniques with the watercolors. Just like using what we've learned in the past before. Much of the colors or things that you're going to draw, it's going to always incorporate values and gradations of different colors. Okay, now in order to use the watercolor pencils properly, you want to practice, using this gradation up here. So, I'm going to shade this part a little bit darker on the top here. And as I go to the bottom, I'm going to go a little bit lighter. Okay, so I want you to just practice, just this shading with the color pencils. Okay, so it's only with color pencils though we're practicing this part, because a lot of things that you're going to draw though is going to have like this nice gradation in the colors. So it's a little hard to see, but let me see if I can zoom in for you guys. So I might have to move things around as I'm working, but we're going to move this a little bit closer. And just realizing that it's not within the window. Alright, that's okay though. You guys can see my whole entire desktop, but that's not a big deal. But alright, so we're going to work on this part here. Now, there's going to be 2 cups of water that I had you guys get. So, these are the 2 cups of water here. One cup's going to be for cleaning your brushes. This is going to be for like all the dirty brushes you're going to clean with. And this is going to be kind of like the fresh water. So one of those waters, you want to keep it as fresh water. Okay, that'll make more sense though when we work with your watercolor cakes. But with this part here though, we're just going to dabble a little water with the brush. You don't want to get too much water on the brush. So if you need to dry up the brush a little bit, that's what the newspaper's for. You can even like fold the newspaper a little bit. This is just to dry up the brushes a little bit. And the proper way of how you want to blend the colors is you want to actually do the opposite of what you did with the pencils. Like I went to the dark to the light, but you want to actually start off with the light and then go up to the darker areas. Okay, and that's how you get like that natural blend of values. So again, you see like my brush is a little bit dirty now, so I'm going to have to clean it up a little bit. And whichever cup you use to clean up your brush, that's the same brush you want to use for all the colors. Okay, but I'm just adding more water to it, to the bottom, and I'm just moving up here though, so you get those values. And even like with myself, I'm not even doing it the best right now. So, you have to keep just working on it, practicing to, get that gradation of colors that you want. And if you wanted to, you can actually dry up the brush completely. So I'm actually drying it off as much as I can. And, you can actually pick up some of those colors if it's still wet. So, just practicing gradations right now. But you see like a gradual trend from like the dark to the light. I'm actually going to practice a little bit more because even I'm not the best at it. So, this one here, I'm going to do the same thing I did before. Going from that dark to a light. Okay, and this is kind of one of those things like the last project, just practice makes perfect. You're never going to get it the first time around. So, don't feel bad if you don't get it. So, I'm just going to try with a little bit more water this time. So, again, I'm just going to go... I heard it's good to go in like circular motions with the brush, so I'm going to try going like a circular motion with it. See how that works. Typically you like to go back and forth with it. And I'm going to move my way all the way up. Oh, you see, like that's even working better though. So try to do like little circular motions in order to, get the colors the way you want. So now I have like a stronger blend, but then again, you see, I kind of went a little too much water with it. Try to go over it again. And, this is just like what we talked about in the warm up. It's kind of hard to like fix, what's there already. You kind of have to let it, sit there for what it is. So let me just practice one more time. Even like myself, I need practice a couple times too. I can't get it perfect the first time. With this one, I'm gonna try like some different colors. So I'm gonna do like yellow to or orange to this yellow here. See how those colors look. Try to blend those together. You can use like some of the complementary colors. See what kind of effects you can get. We're just practicing blending with the values because most of those things that you drew for your project, you'll probably have to use this blending technique in the project. So again, I'm going to use my brush. I'm going to try to get more of that water. So just dabbing it. And we're going to try it again. Circular motions, moving up. See how that looks. So, yeah, this is looking a lot better than before, though. It's okay though. It's just like we talked about before. It's easy to make mistakes. It's just we gotta learn from it though. Okay, so just practice blending a couple times. This next section though, we're going to do the water cakes. Okay, so the water cakes, this one's going to be a little bit more fun. So with this one here, you used it before where we, initially just, put water on the brush. We use this to color. So we don't really need to practice that anymore. But I really want you guys to try this technique though, where you, get a wet brush. So get a wet brush and then just kind of like go over the area with water though. Don't put too much water though, but just like enough water. Just see how it looks. So we're just gonna do like this is called like a wet on wet technique. And now we're going to try to get some colors on there. So I'm gonna try this violet here, and I'm just gonna like dab it in the middle here, see how that looks. So this kind of does like a little spraying effect to it. So you can have some fun with this one. This is more of like if you're creating like abstract art drawings. This is more of like letting the watercolors be what they are. So I'm gonna add some blue here. Again, you want to try to use like analogous colors, because those colors really blend real well. It's almost like a tie-dye effect to this type of work. You can do like little marks too. It's all gonna spread around when you add those colors. We could try a little bit of green here. So I'm just kind of like going down the palette though, but you can kind of like experiment with different colors though. So again, this is kind of like just seeing what it looks. This would be kind of like good for like backgrounds if you I use this for like background colors. So that one's a little bit easier to do. So then on to like the bottom part. Yeah, we'll just let it be as is. But yeah, we're gonna zoom out now. See what we have here. And then the last part, I mean, it's pretty obvious though. You can kind of just like free draw, whoops, do anything that you want with it. I think I got a little bit dirty, but just have fun with it. Maybe if you want to, maybe try using the watercolors. You can use the same technique. So, you want to work on some gradients. The way you would do gradients with the colors, though, is you obviously start off with your darks, and then dilute it with water. You can get to lighter parts like this. So I'm just adding water to dilute it, though. I mean, while it's still wet, though, you can do that, though. But once it's dry, you can't really create those gradations anymore. And just kind of experiment with it. If you want to try like the wet on wet again, you can do that. So today's just purely just experimentation. Just real important though when you work on the bigger page. If you want to go back and work on this part here, wait for it to dry, and you can add multiple layers to the picture. It's possible to still add layers to your watercolors. You have to wait for it to dry though. So just take your time with it today. Let the watercolors do their thing, and you get some really interesting effects with it. You don't have to draw anything that's it doesn't have to look like anything in the free draw. It's just you're just experimenting with the watercolors. If you really like this, I think this is kind of interesting with the tie-dye effects. If you want to, you can actually move it around a little bit more. You get some really interesting things. Now, like my colors are like a little too strong, so I'm just gonna dabble a little bit more with water. I feel like this would be like nice for like the background colors. Just be careful not to put too much or make it too opaque, the colors. That's still not dry, so sometimes I like to just practice doing the sphere. I know you guys are probably sick of doing the sphere though. So I'm just gonna draw a sphere down here. So if you want to like draw like little things, just to practice shading, a lot of colors you can do that. That's fine. You guys are probably tired of seeing the sphere. This is like all we draw every time. Sometimes I like to practice with like something that's observational. That way, when I'm drawing my animal, my tree, my flower, and I know how I'm going to do it. Like these like things that I'm doing now, it's like you can't really tell like how it's going to look. You can practice with this though. So just to change it up, I changed the light source. So I typically have it on the other side, but change it up here, and just try to experiment with it. So just like how we did before, watercolors. Let's try to do that circular motion again. Going from that light into the dark area. Very, very nice, easy circular motions. Oops. I'm gonna try to fix that. So I'm just using the newspaper now to dab the colors. I'm gonna try to pick up some of those colors. So you can fix it a little bit though. It's just you have to do it like within that time. And I'm doing a very, very bad job of my cups. So make sure you keep track of like which is your clean cup and which is your dirty cup, because if you need to use water, like especially for like the wet on wet technique, you want to make sure you have clean water all the time. It's just good practice. That's how it would look though if you were doing it in watercolors. That sphere. So, I mean, it's getting a little bit better though. But one cup's gonna be like the dirty water.